What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back to Motorlytics. My name is Q. Today, I want to know, how well do you know your Hyundai Elantra N? I want to show you some features of the Hyundai Elantra N that may be hidden. You hit Valet Mode. I have it already set up. Have to type in the password twice. Activating Valet Mode, and you have to put the password on. It tells you what time it turned on, the vehicle turned off, time, driving distance, driving time, top speed. It essentially just gives you a lot of information. If you pull up somewhere and you want your car to be valeted, it gives you a lot of information that about the vehicle, and just allows you to have more security over your vehicle. Not a lot of vehicles have this feature. Next is you go to settings, user profile. I already set mine up. I click on link digital key. So I have my digital key already set up, but essentially you can use a digital key, and I'm not talking about the app itself. A digital key usually comes with wireless phone charging in most cars. Like in a BMW, if you have a wireless charger, you have an option for a digital key, and you actually can have like a card with it. I don't think Hyundai has the card, but in this car, this is the phone that I have set up with my digital key. And if I go in here, let's see, I'll show this. And this is a Samsung S23 Ultra. I swipe up there, and as you can see, it says Elantra right there. I do this, and it has a timer. Now with this digital key, you can start the car, lock the car, and unlock the car. Now, I will say that on the outside, it works with NFC communication, and it's not the best when you're unlocking and locking the car. I would say it's not the best. But sometimes I do just have my phone and I forget my keys. Like in the house, I have an upstairs. So sometimes I put my keys upstairs and I'll just have my phone. And so if I need to go to the garage or get something out of the car, having my phone to be able to just boop, it works out. Or maybe I just need to move my car real quick. I don't have to worry about, oh crap, I don't have my keys. So that is a cool feature of the digital key in this car. You usually don't see stuff like that in this cars of this price point, in this caliber. That's usually a higher end feature. If you're familiar with Hyundai products, I don't know if it's in Kia products. I haven't had enough of them to know if that feature's in there. But if you're familiar with Hyundai products, you see how my door is open and it shows this little notification here. Now I'm gonna close this door, and that goes away. Now in Hyundai, if you are sitting in this car, there's cameras on the windshield, as in most cars, and have your foot on the brake and you're behind a car and that car moves, in this screen right here, it will show vehicle movement. It's kind of just a reminder, like, hey, maybe you looked away or something like that. And it also beeps, and it just says beep, 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 and it says like, hey, the vehicle, or it dings, and the vehicle is essentially just telling you like, hey, look, the vehicle in front of you've moved away. Now if they just move an inch or something like that, usually it doesn't go off, but like it's essentially like so that you don't hold up the line. Maybe there's cars behind you. That's kind of cool. Never seen that in a car before. So it wasn't even in my X3M, so I just thought that was kind of cool. Okay, so the warning is not happening up there for some reason. I don't know why, but usually it says we're preventing the smells from the outside to come into the car while you clean your windshield. I don't know why it's not saying it now, but it is doing it. It's just not popping up on the screen for some reason. But usually it pops up there, and it essentially just says like, hey, when the washer fluid is when you're using the washer fluid, it doesn't want that smell from the washer fluid to come inside the car, so it changes it from it changes it to recirculation of just the air inside. I just thought that was an extra cool touch. I wouldn't think that would be an issue. I don't remember ever using windshield washer fluid and smelling windshield wiper fluid. So I don't know. I mean, I appreciate it, Hyundai, for the extra thought, I guess. This is a track performance car. And so with that being said, people do track this car. And when you track a car, you need some stats. You want to know how well you're doing, or, you know, what you are actually doing on a track. So we all know that, and I have my start button here programmed to N mode. So I'll press that and it goes to N mode here. We all know that this car has N mode, and we all know that you can program that has all these different settings. What we don't, I think most people don't know is that you have more than just this information here. You can click on these, like the lap timer. I haven't done any laps in here, but it can record automatically or record manually, and it'll show you all your lap times. It'll show acceleration as well. If you go back here and click things like this, you have a setting, and I believe this restarts every time you start the car. Yeah, it restarts every time you start the car, but it'll show you over time what you've done. Just thought it was a nice little touch. The DCTs I've heard have had an overheating issue, so the oil temp and the engine temp have been very important to me, just trying to monitor, you know, how hot it gets, just to make sure that there is no heating issue with this car. It is under warranty, obviously it's a brand new car, but at the same time I still don't want to have any issues. So that seeing that data definitely has helped me out with having the DCT, just a little extra precaution there. Now for this next one, I'm actually going to turn the vehicle off. We all know that we love N mode. So with this car in N mode, the valves and the exhaust open up. We know how fun the exhaust is in this car, and you can actually start this car in N mode. Now, essentially, you're just putting it in N mode in general, but as far as like starting it up from the get-go, you can actually start it in N mode. I believe you probably can start it in any mode. I've only tried it in N mode, but we're gonna start this car in N mode. With the exhaust in N mode, the exhaust will be open. 1, 2. Hit this on here. All right, N mode. So N mode. Started in N mode. So you know what I didn't know? I didn't know that you could change this stuff over here in N mode. So cool. All right, so for the next one, we need to be outside for this, and I have to use the key fob. So we have this key fob right here, with my little case on it, handy dandy, makes it look better, because the key looks like trash compared to the old Elantras. And as you can see, the doors are locked, and I'm going to hold the lock button so you know it's locked, and then I'm going to hold the unlock button. The next one is you can open the driver's side window with the key fob. Now it does not go up. That is so stupid, where I can roll down my window with the unlock button, but I can't roll it up with the lock button. And if you go back and watch my videos of my X3M in my BMW, I could actually roll all the windows, including the sunroof, opening the sunroof with the unlock button. And then if I hit the lock button, it would roll up all the windows and close the sunroof. So I don't know why they didn't put that in there. Like, if you're gonna at least do the down for the driver's side of the window, at least do the up. Like, come on, man. Like, what if you accidentally sat on your key or something like that, or just anything? Like, why would you not be able to do that? They always talk about how great the exhaust and stuff sounds on this car, but I don't think you really get the full effect of this car until you change the settings of the exhaust. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to change it. It's called active sound, I believe. But if you go into settings, sound, active sound design, I always usually put it on largest change. And then I go in here and I hit settings. High performance sounds the best for me, and I turn everything up. The volume fine adjustment, the whine, the throat, the bass, I turn that all the way up, as you can see, +5, 333, and that gives you the best sound out of this Hyundai Elantra N. Like I said, I've tried TCR, I've tried a Rally, I've tried Sport. High performance sounds the best. Rally car is just, I would say, the second best, but I'm just not a huge fan of the Rally car sound. I think the high performance is just icing on the cake. Now, the last thing that I have for you guys is something that I found out, that I literally just found out 2 days ago. I very rarely sit in this car without my seatbelt on, nobody in the passenger, or just the car just sitting on. I rarely ever do that. I usually just get out of it, you know, just like normal people. But I was sitting in this car the other day for probably 30-45 minutes, maybe an hour, you know, but somewhere between 30 and an hour, and it popped up in the screen, the notification screen over here, car will turn off, and it had a timer of counting down in a few seconds or whatever. Press OK if you don't want it to turn off. Now, usually, sometimes these cars have like an auto start stop function, where like if you roll up to a traffic light and you hold the brake, it'll usually turn off the engine, and then when you hit the gas, it'll turn the engine back on, or if you let go of the brake or whatever, it'll turn the engine back on. That was something new. I've never heard of that or seen that in a car, to where like if, and certain conditions have to be met. And let me get my phone here, because it has specific conditions that need to be met to get that. I call it vehicle auto shut off. You know, I don't know if that's the exact feature. I couldn't find it in the manual or anything like that, but if you do a Google search for it, it kind of pops up. But people kind of say it's like an auto start feature as well, but it's not the same thing at all. There's no button, as far as I know. There's no setting in there to turn it off. It's just a feature that's just built into the car. And so if you're sitting in the car and certain conditions are met, it will pop up on that screen and it will say vehicle turning off in a such amount of seconds. It's meant to still do the same thing as auto start, stop and go, to save fuel. I really don't know how much fuel you're gonna do, because if I'm sitting in the car with the car running, obviously it probably is for a reason. But it's certain conditions that need to be met, such as the vehicle needs to be in park, the driver's seat belt unfastened, the driver's door open. Now, I didn't have my driver's door open, so that could be one at certain conditions or not, but I didn't have my driver's door open. I did have my seat belt off. It was in park, and the front passenger seat unoccupied. So I've never heard like of a sensor going off, like ding 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 ding, for the passenger, but I'm pretty sure there is one, because there is in most cars. So I would think that since I didn't have a passenger in here, and I sat there, like I said, it had to be between 30 minutes to an hour, because I was sitting there pretty long. That's why it literally said we're gonna turn off the car, because literally you were just sitting there doing nothing, and it was trying to save fuel. Like I said, I just thought that was an interesting feature. I've never seen that before in any vehicle, so maybe people complained about it or something. I don't know.